At Optical, a wide selection of affordable optical frames and optical services are available to fit your budget.
At Optical, my family is provided with comprehensive eye examination and access to the ophthalmology services, all under one roof.
Optical takes pride in delivering exceptional customer service and a unique experience to you, our customers.
Optical Vision Care is a company that is Guyanese born and grown that will help you take care of your precious eyes.
Good evening and welcome to this edition of the Evening News for today, Saturday, November 12th, 2022. I am Timothy Jaikran. Thank you for tuning in. In the headlines, enforcement is next step in national cleanup exercise, says President Ali. 27 charity squatters get land titles. Government to spend over $200 million to regularize area. Vice President JAGDEO engaging senior government officials, investors in UAE. Single widow approval for construction permits by year end. And courts light up Brighton's main street for Christmas. Now for the news in detail. We begin tonight's newscast by telling you that President Dr. Irfan Ali has stated that following the national cleanup exercise, heavy focus will be placed on enforcement to ensure that the country remains clean. The head of state made this declaration as he joined government officials and private sector stakeholders in the continuation of the national cleanup exercise in Georgetown this morning. Cleanup exercises were simultaneously being conducted across the country today. According to President Ali, the state of cleanliness in the city since the last exercise is a step in the right direction. He, however, called for intensified efforts to curb the dumping of garbage. Let's have a look.
We still have dumping going on in certain areas that were cleared the last time. So definitely after this segment of the national cleanup campaign, we'll have to now focus heavily, and that is what the community is looking at now, on enforcement. We have given enough time, enough education programs, but enforcement is going to become a major aspect of what we do.
The citizens of Georgetown, they also have a role to play in this cleanup campaign. They can start by cleaning the yards and have the garbage just in front of them. They can start by cleaning the drains in front of them. Right? We cannot have this cleanup campaign with all the organizations, both private and public sectors, as the President mentioned just now, come out and clean it and do the citizens of Georgetown not doing anything.
We all want to live in a healthy environment, so we should make this our duty to ensure that the environment is clean. We need to change the habit of dumping garbage all over the place. Those people who dump garbage should join and pick up and see how difficult it is, so they'll understand and not do it again. I mean, we're cleaning up here, and we hope that persons will take more responsibility to look after the environment.
For diplomatic friends, the media, of course the private sector. The private sector, we have the chairman here, has been a great partner. They've brought out tremendous assets. Many trucks, excavators, bulldozers, drilling machines, all mobilized through the private sector. So I think the private sector must be lauded for the great support in this program. The staff, police force, prison service, the joint service is tremendous work. The cabinet, the entire cabinet is out, the private sector is out, young people are out. I'm so proud of these guys, all the young people from all boys from went into those areas. We're working in all these areas, and the guys are responding. I'm so proud of you guys. All of you guys. But at the end of the day, they are part of this national effort to make a positive change. And this is the type of behavioral influence we want all across the country. All across the country today, this will continue.
Dozens of former squatters in the Region 2 community of Charity have today received their certificates of title from President Dr. Irfan Ali, who further committed that over $200 million will be spent to regularize the community and rehabilitate some 123 roads throughout the region by this year end. Gerald Bryan has the details.
President Dr. Irfan Ali on Saturday participated in the distribution of certificates of titles to the former charity squatters. It was explained that out of 123 lots that can be regularized immediately, only 27 had fully paid their fees while 33 were yet to pay. 27 persons received their titles on Saturday, while there will be a distribution for the remainder on Monday.
The remaining number of persons, the remaining 63 persons out of the 123, we are ready for you to sign up and pay your fees so that you can get your title before the end of the year.
He explained further the plans the government has for the community and for the region as a whole. For one, the president noted that over $200 million will be spent on regularizing their community. This is expected to include roadworks and utilities. President Ali meanwhile told them that having conducted an assessment of the region, they will be spending millions on roads in every community in the region.
In charity, we're investing $4 billion in a new water treatment plant for you here. $4 billion for a new water treatment plant. Outside of all of that, we have identified 251 roads that has to be done in Region 2. We did an analysis of the entire region. Every single community, regardless of how you look, feel, or voted, all the roads in this region, every single community has been placed on a list, and we have 251 roads to be done. We are earmarking through supplementary provision resources to do 123 of these roads commencing this year.
President Ali also assured the former squatters that they will be visited by bankers who will come to approve their home improvement loans. He noted that the government has negotiated a special interest rate of just 3.9% for these low-income loans. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Vice President Dr. JAGDEO is currently in the United Arab Emirates, where he is engaging senior government officials and investors on opportunities in Guyana. General matters of cooperation and investment have been discussed during this meeting with the UAE government official, His Highness Sheikh Ahmad Dalmouk Al Maktoum. Dr. JAGDEO also met with His Excellency Reem Ibrahim Al-Himshi, Minister of State for International Cooperation, with whom a number of issues were discussed, including strengthening the role and interest of the South in the global multilateral system and climate change negotiations. A bilateral agreement on cybersecurity was also formalized between Guyana and the UAE. Other high-level meetings were held with Dubai Ports World and Abu Dhabi National Oil Company on areas of mutual interest and cooperation. The Vice President is accompanied by Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar, and National ICT Advisor Darrell Akyel. Further engagements are expected in UAE over the next few days. We now tell you that by the end of 2022, a single window approval system for the construction permits would be activated, thereby providing significant ease and eliminating the royal runaround to get those documents. Find out more in this Rupa Sinarayan report.
President Dr. Irfan Ali announced during the opening ceremony of the Business Development Forum 2022 on Friday that many hurdles will be removed with this new model. Moreover, it consolidates several interagency procedures into one application document.
Before the end of this year, we are going to pass the single window approval system for construction permits. That alone removes hurdle on. Now, you have to lodge your form, depend on the mayor, what mood he is in. You have to put down your form, then you have to run to CHPA, then you have to go to City Council, they'll send you back to CHPA, they'll send you back to City Council, then you have to go to Fire Service, then Public Health, then you have to go to some sanitary, depending on if that person ate lunch, then you'll be treated the way as if... All of that is being erased into one application process.
The President expounded on how this system will function, adding that once all objections are fixed, the agency cannot bring new ones.
What this single window application will do is very simple. You deposit your application to one window. Electronically, it is sent to all the agencies that need to comment within a time frame. They don't provide their comment, it is deemed approved. They provide all their comments, the applicant gets the time frame to respond to their comments. Once you respond to those comments and it clears all the hurdles, they can't come back with any new comments.
The Guyanese head of state acknowledged that many aspects of the system are archaic. However, government is constantly making strides to correct these issues and enable easy access for Guyanese.
Is the system perfect? No, absolutely no. Is the system archaic? Many parts of the system is archaic. Are we fixing it? Yes, of course we're fixing it. The system deals with our training. At the Technical Institute, at the University of Guyana, is our training geared towards the orientation of the economy? Our education system, our legislative system.
Rupa Sinarain, The Evening News.
A man from West Rhymeville, Georgetown is now dead after he was caught in the crossfire as a group of young men shot at each other late Friday afternoon. The dead man has been identified as 53-year-old Dexter McFarlane, a laborer of Lot 2 Lane Avenue, West Rhymeville. The incident occurred at sometime around 17 hours on Lane Avenue. Reports are that McFarlane had just disembarked the bus and was heading home through a shortcut in the area when he was hit in his left side chest by the stray bullet. Based on information reaching this publication, two young males were chasing another young man and firing shots at him while McFarlane was walking in the street, and that is how he got shot. 2.32 spent shells were recovered at the scene. Police are on the hunt for the youngsters involved in the shooting. Coming up on the other side of the break, courts light up Brighton's Main Street for Christmas. Please stay tuned.
Superbet com certeza a sua melhor escolha. Com mais de 200 jogos online com Superbet, você aposta é para ganhar. Cadastre-se hoje, tá esperando o quê? Basta acessar o www.superbet.gy. Clicar em registrar e você já está apto a participar. Lembrando que o Superbet não é recomendado para menores de 18 anos.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. A young teacher attached to the Line Path Secondary on Quarantine Region 6 East Berbice Quarantine collapsed and died at school on Friday morning. Dead is 26-year-old Dharmini Prasad of Lot 102A, number 72 Village, Quarantine. Reports are that Prasad had gone to school at about 8 hours on Friday and died less than an hour later. The Evening News understands that the mathematics teacher had complained of feeling a pain in her chest shortly after arriving at school. Then at around 8:30 hours, she collapsed and was rushed to the Skeldon Hospital, where the doctors were unable to resuscitate her. Prasad, who got married in 2021, had gone for a medical checkup a few weeks prior to her passing, but there was no signs of any complications. Her husband also teaches at the same school. The Upper Quarantine Chamber of Commerce has expressed concerns over the ongoing conflict between rice and cattle farmers in Region 6. Only recently, Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa met with the farmers, but after no tangible results were seen, the Chamber is calling on the minister to once more engage the farmers to resolve their issues. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael has more.
Both the rice and cattle industries are very important to Region 6 as well as the country's economy. Only recently, Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa met separately with rice and cattle farmers in the quarantine following allegations by both sides against each other. The rice farmers allege that the cattle farmers have been deliberately allowing their animals to feast on their crop, while the cattle farmers are alleging that the rice farmers have been illegally impounding their animals, many of which are allegedly being picked up on dams and other grazing pastures to be impounded. Many of the rice farmers are themselves cattle farmers also. The standoff between the two sides escalated last month after officials from the number 5274 NDC were instructed to release cattle that were allegedly illegally impounded on 2 occasions. President of the Upper Quarantine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Hemchand Jaichan, says despite a resolution being agreed on by both sides during their separate meetings with the Agriculture Minister, the issue still persists as rice farmers continue to complain that the cattle have been damaging their crops. Jaichan said he met with a group of rice farmers who are members of the chamber, and they claim that the cattle owners have been cutting the barbed wire fence built to prevent the animals from leaving the 17,000 acres savanna.
It was reported that one rice farmer actually got chopped, and that matter is in the court, and I don't want to get into it. But if it doesn't address, it seems it's going to be a very, very serious issue.
Jaichan said the chamber is seeking to have Minister Mustafa meet again with quarantine rice farmers along with the chamber in an attempt to bring a solution to the situation.
But I also believe that the cattle industry is a very important one, and we as a responsible chamber is working to see how we can have a good solution where both parties can be happy. No one will want to invest and lose. Likewise, the cattle farmers.
Cattle farmers have been contending that the government had instructed that all pounds be closed. However, rice farmers argue that the law provides for the impounding of animals. Following the meeting with the two sides earlier this month, Mustafa had indicated that Attorney General Anil Nandlal was going to give a pronouncement on how the law should be interpreted. That pronouncement is still forthcoming. Andrew Carmichael, for Evening News.
With close to 500 sheets being upgraded in Region 6 East Berbice quarantine this year, some contractors are complaining that some of the roads that are contracted to rehabilitate were recently resurfaced. Here's our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael once more with the details.
For fear of victimization, those contractors have asked that the specifics are not mentioned. 2 contractors showed this newscast that the streets they signed contracts to rehabilitate were already done. Both contractors were subsequently given replacement streets to work on. In September, a total of 268 contracts were signed, totaling $8.6 billion to upgrade roads across the Berbice region. Those contracts are coming through the Public Works Ministry. Only recently, APNU AFC lead councillor of the Regional Democratic Council of Region 6, Shirley Scott, revealed that a contractor went to Scottsburg and Corriverton and started digging up and removing the concrete surface of a street which was in perfect order. According to her, the work was stopped after residents came out angry over the disruption to their street.
Right now, as we know, there is the big flow of contracts and road building, and everybody is building and everybody is doing contracting and everything is happening. One which I would applaud, because as long as for the benefit of residents, yes. Community development, yes. But what I would have noticed, and I received a call last week because one of the alleged contractors turned up in Scottsburg Housing Scheme. Scottsburg Housing Scheme, for those of you who don't know, is one of those housing schemes that were there for over 46 years. Those streets are 46 years solid and strong.
The council referred to the street as being smooth and unbroken prior to the visit of the contractor. According to Scott, there is need for an explanation, and contractors should not be allowed to interfere with streets that are in no need for rehabilitation.
What I understood after upon investigation, that these persons were sent because the street, they were given the street and the street had to be rehabilitated. The residents were mad. They created a fit because the street, nothing was wrong with the street. However, I don't know if calls were made, but the very person that was on the HIMAC retreated. They started to pick up all of the bricks that they dug, damaged the people's street, and they retreat.
When contacted on the matter, Public Works Minister Gwan Edgell said he had requested the relevant information from officers at his ministry, but after press time, he had not been appraised. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
The iconic annual Courts Christmas light-up was brought to life on Friday evening, illuminating Main Street, Georgetown with a holiday cheer and marking a start to the true Guyanese Christmas celebration. Let's have a look.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn on the lights! Merry Christmas!
Every year, the light up of Main Street by Quartz Guyana Limited is anticipated by many. It is a tradition dating back decades that somehow never goes out of style. In fact, hundreds of persons flocked this year's light up exercise to witness the spectacular lights as the switches were turned on. Sub-Regional Managing Director at Quartz, Vincent Gordon, expressed that for over 25 years, the annual light up and concert have become an integral part of the country's holiday celebrations.
And while it is true that we missed a couple of years because of the COVID pandemic, let everyone know that, say in my country, where I'm from, we're not gone away, we're still there. We are here, we are back. Our light up this evening reflects the look and the feel of the new Quartz megastore. We have invested in a full light show that will stretch from the Avenue of the Republic to Middle Street.
Prime Minister retired Brigadier Mark Phillips relayed in his remarks that this event has become a local signal that the Christmas season is approaching.
Many Guyanese will use this location to spend valuable time with their families and make new memories at this joyous time of the year. Of course, the lighting of the tree has great significance at Christmas time and reminds us of a story that took place over 2,000 years ago. The story of the birth of Jesus Christ. Christmas time is observed by giving gifts, a spirit of charity and goodwill, and is among the most festive seasons of the year. But in all our festivities, let us remember to reflect on our blessings and give thanks.
Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
We will now take a look at the bridge reports.
There is no retraction scheduled at the Demerara Harbor Bridge for Sunday, November 13. However, the Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed at 17 hours 10 on Sunday, November 13 for a period of 1.5 hours.
And now the local stock exchange market, compliments of Gassi. Regal's speedboat among winners on day one of Prime Minister's T20 Cup. This and more coming up in the Sportscast, sponsored by Maccorp.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
Credit! You ready? We're so far. Look along, me tell you, buy one generator. Now the picnic online test and blackout come and cut off everything.
Sorry, son.
Radhika, are we gonna go tomorrow? Are we gonna go now?
At Sylvie's, we stock products from more than 22 different sectors in mining, construction, food processing, vulcanizing, home improvements, and more.
Are you getting generator?
So this is a 3000 better side generator. This will work for your lights, your fan, your TV, and your fridge.
Well, Abby can buy one for Abby, and Abby can buy one for Mommy too.
Yeah, and Mommy could even key start it, because all you have to do is hook up the battery and
Visit us today at 31 High in Hatfield Street, where our friendly and knowledgeable team members are willing to assist you. You can also call us on 227-6243 or WhatsApp us on 623-7755 and shop via our website at www.sylviesonline.com.
Abby go buy one doll pulling mill?
One plucking machine, one pressure washing machine, one juice dispenser, one engine, one pepper grinding machine, one water pump, one sugar cane juicer, circle sir. We gotta get alright then food warmer. We gotta get. What are you looking at?
चीर के छाती बोले अपनी पवन पुत्र हनुमान बोलो पवन पुत्र हनुमान मन में बसे है राम मेरे तन में बसे है राम मेरे मन में बसे है राम मेरे तन में
Guyana, get ready for the biggest interward football extravaganza ever. The Guyana Football Federation and Kashif and Shanghai Organization present the One Guyana President's Cup, set to be played in all 10 regions from Sunday, November 13, 2022. Wards will be vying for regional supremacy, with the best players earning the right to represent their region and compete in the national championship. So come out and rep for your ward in the regional playoffs of the One Guyana President's Cup football competition, kicking off across all 10 regions of Guyana from Sunday, November 13, 2022.